Welcome back to Collateral Damage. Today, I just wanted to. This is going to be a small little review. Um, I don't know why, but this is going to be something I thought about. A review of a video game. I have no gameplay. I'm sorry, but so it's going to be very simple. It's just going to be me talking about it. But one of the good games that really did come out a long time ago that I think people should have really taken notes from in a way, because it's really hard to redo this game without obviously altering a lot of things on it is Mad Max. Mad Max, it's not Mad Max Fury Road, it's just regular Mad Max. See, I can't remember what year it was. It was like 2015, 16, I think. I just can't. I can't see if I can't find the year, which makes me sad. Really sad. But I think it was like 2015, 2016, something like that. Somewhere around there. But Mad Max came out and it was a beautiful game. It was a really good game and it had a really good way of being open world, having a lot of activities, and obviously it was really based on your character and the bases around the world, because you had to really help the world, because it was barren. It was the barons essentially. And then it was you're obviously the biggest one, your car. But the aspect of it was is that with this, it gave you a lot of choices with it. The fighting was really good. The fighting felt great. It was very Batman Arkham Knight ish, I think, or kind of like the Batman Arkham series. The mechanics were very similar to that, but it was useful. It was very useful and it was very easy to use. But it was great. Now, the enemies were great. You had to actually think a little bit about certain people you had to fight. The the car battles were great because you had to take care of your car, but also your car hit like a truck. You actually were like, it's not gonna just explode. It was a durable thing, so weren't too worried by every other. Now, obviously, if you were doing a convoy and you were only level 2, you're gonna die. But the idea was it was a good game. The customization for your character was great. The upgrades for them were great too. Like, things were very useful. You had a lot of upgrades. The way to do it was great. I really enjoyed that. And I think a lot of games kind of, I don't know, maybe missed out in a sense of like, that's a game I think they should take notes from. Specifically in the idea of how maybe the customization, or maybe how the workings of the car kind of worked, or maybe in the sense of like, that is how we should feel about an open world game. Yes, not every single, I think, aspect of the open world was the best, but at the same time, you had to think. There was very rare a time, unless you were just driving around, where you there was very rare a time where you had to just, how would we say, not do anything fun. At least to me, like, most of the bases, you had to kind of actually figure out. Like, you actually had to make sure you cut off the gas so you didn't, run up to the base and get blown up by all the fire. You had sniper towers, you had firebomb towers all around the bases, the forts, just around the general area. You actually had to, like, kind of plan and think ahead a little bit in a way, or at least think more than most open world games. But then when it came to certain items or certain achievements or collectibles, you actually had to, like, think. You actually had to, like, oh, there's a apparently there's a collectible here, and the only thing I see is a, a plate of mail on the ground. Harpoon it, drag it away, and you realize it's a boat underground. It was really innovative. It was very, very innovative. It was a great game, but like I said, for me personally, I very rarely found any issues, but it has been a long time since I played it. I will say that it has been a long time. Story was a little weird, but from what I remember, it was good in a sense like I enjoyed it. Um, it did bring in characters that we were not remembering of, or like they were not people I think we remembered or have seen before, I believe, except for a few of them. But regardless, it was just a really good game. I do think games should go back, look at that, kind of see the how we say the formula that really kind of got that one working. Now, obviously, not all open world games should work on the fighting mechanics that one had, but I feel like the skills or something like they should make the skills very. You have to not maybe not even just the skill tree, but just one stat bonuses are great, but I don't want. Oh, let me give a real good example. With this, just kind of a side note. The one reason Marvel's Avengers was really annoying after the first and second main skill blocks, the blocks, not just the sorry, not just like the skill trees, but there was two blocks for like a skill tree here, and then there was the secondary like mastery skills, and then there was legendary skills, and then there was just well, there's skill tree, skill level one, skill level or skill block one, skill block two, then mastery. Then there was like superhero, like there was like the literal bit of stuff. And the one thing you realize is the first main three skill trees that are like the very first ones you get were very useful. They actually like made your character do different things and achieve new things. The second one, the second one helped your main skills, your main abilities, and just improved on those, and like one or two fighting abilities. No, it was still your skills. That the second main skill tree or block actually focused on your skills and were like your actual abilities, so you could make them better. The the third block actually went into like real in depth, I guess you would say, like actual things you do in the game, such as if you do a takedown, you can decide whether it gives you an orb of health, spirit, whatever, and um, or willpower, ability charge, or supercharge. So it was like here and there little things that they were still now they were very useful depending on what you did, but it's still sorry, I hate the autofocus, but it was one of those things that they were useful, but they again were some of them end up being more stat bonuses than anything. A few of them were, and I will say madmax had a few of them, and I'm not too mad about it. But the one thing people don't like in skill trees is they don't want a million pointless 2% skill base or skill input or stat bonuses. We don't want that. We want a skill or an upgrade that legitimately either changes, modifies, or creates or makes something look a lot better in the sense of like maybe your punches do more damage and do more knockback, but it does change the look, the effect, or maybe even the type of punch you do anymore. Like maybe instead of a one two left hook, right hook, left hook, then the last one is actually like a full body swing right hook that like you hear like when he contacts the person, he comes in contact, you actually feel you actually um like see it like almost push in the chest, like break the ribs, and something very interesting, something that makes a major change. We don't want these little like I want 2% more damage on everything. No, I hate that. That's stupid. I'll just get more gear to do that. Because those are, no offense, kind of pointless at this point. I because in most open world games you'll probably have a loot system. So at this point, I'll just get better loot, especially in the beginning, especially when you want to add more combo finishers or combo inputs, make it longer. But we just but that's some of those things I think games really need to get onto right about now, because a lot of things are kind of just stat increase this, stat increase that, and the skills themselves don't really change that much. But that's just me from what I've seen in the last like 5 years. Obviously, can't get into details because I don't have anything up for me to really read off of. But that's just what I remember. But regardless, Mad Max was a good game that I think games need to go back and like look at and be like, let's see what we can do with, like maybe looking forward to with this. But regardless, I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, peace.